Hello to everybody. Welcome back to Brand Institute of Forensics and Security. This is Mr. Wayne, and today we are going to be discussing motivation theories and strategic management. Motivation theories and strategic management. Motivation is a very important factor in any organization. Motivation is a very important factor in any strategic planning, any strategic management planning. If the management is motivated, if the staff are motivated, if the people are motivated, then definitely this will guide the strategic planning to success. So we are going to talk about motivation theories. However, before we go deep into the theories, we are first going to look at the term motivation and define it. The term motivation describes why a person does something. It is the driving force behind human actions. Motivation is the process that initiates, guides, and maintains goal-oriented behaviors. Motivation is the process that initiates, guides, and maintains goal-oriented behaviors. The driving force behind our actions. Motivation is the driving force behind our actions. And as we have seen, motivation initiates, motivation guides, and motivation maintains goal-oriented behaviors. For you to be able to achieve your goals, for you to be able to achieve your objectives, either as an individual or as an organization or even as a family, then you have to be motivated. You have to be motivated. These are the things that we shall be discussing. For instance, motivation is what helps you lose extra weight or pushes you to get that promotion at work. In short, motivation causes you to act in a way that gets you closer to your goals. Motivation includes the biological, emotional, social, and cognitive forces that activate human behavior. Motivation also involves factors that direct and maintain goal-oriented actions, although such motives are rarely directly observable. As a result, we must often infer the reasons why people do the things that they do based on observable behaviors. Observable behaviors are behaviors that can be seen. So we say motivation involves factors that direct and maintain goal-oriented actions, although such motives are rarely directly observable. Types of motivation. Types of motivation. The two main types of motivation are frequently described as being either extrinsic or intrinsic. Extrinsic or intrinsic. Extrinsic motivation arises from outside of the individual and often involves external rewards such as trophies, money, social recognition, or praise. These are external motivational factors. And then we also have internal, which is and arises from within the individual, such as doing a complicated crossword puzzle purely for the gratification of solving a problem. So just note that we have two types of motivation, external and internal. External arises mostly from rewards, which include trophies, money, social recognition, or praise. And then there are internal, which actually arises from within the individual, such as doing a complicated crossword puzzle purely for the gratification of solving a problem. Or when you go to the gym and you exercise, and at the end of the exercise, you feel very nice, you feel motivated, you feel good. That is what we call also internal motivation, which is intrinsic. A third type of motivation. Some researchers suggest that there is a third type of motivation, which is family motivation. I tend to agree with this one. An example of this type is going to work when you are not motivated to do so internally. No intrinsic motivation, but because it is means to support your family financially. Family plays a very important role in one being motivated. Family plays a very important role. And even those who do not have family, those who have close friends, those who have people who are very close to them, we consider these people as family. Family plays a very, very important role. When you have discontent in your family, you cannot function 100% properly at work. When you have discontent with your friends or those people who are very close to you, then it affects your motivation, and your performance is usually below standards. This is something that it is ongoing. Researchers are still studying this aspect of family related to motivation. And I can say that from a security perspective, also from my own personal experience, family plays a very important role in motivating us to achieve what we want to achieve or to be better people. Why is motivation important? Motivation serves as a guiding force for all human behavior. So, understanding how motivation works and the factors that may impact it can be important for several reasons. Understanding motivation can increase efficiency as one works towards achieving goals. Understanding motivation also can drive one to take action. Understanding motivation encourages one to engage in health-oriented behaviors. Understanding motivation also helps avoid unhealthy or maladaptive behaviors such as risk-taking and addiction. And then also, understanding motivation helps one free more in control of life and also improves overall well-being and happiness. Motivation, as I've said, is very important. Motivation helps improve overall well-being and happiness. Motivation helps feel more in control of life. When you are motivated, you feel more in control of life. You take charge of your career, you take charge of your spiritual life, you take charge of your physical life, you take charge of everything that involves around you. Motivation is a very important factor as we move on as human beings. The three components of motivation. Researchers have identified three major components of motivation, and one is activation, and two is persistence, and three is intensity. Activation is the decision to initiate a behavior. Persistence is the continued effort toward a goal, even though obstacles may exist. Intensity is the concentration and vigor that goes into pursuing a goal. For example, persistence is the continued effort toward a goal, even though obstacles may exist. We understand very well that it's a very challenging time, especially for us Kenyans, economically, and even the whole world, due to whatever is happening all over the world. The economies of each countries are very difficult now. They are facing multiple challenges. And persistence is the continued effort toward a goal, even though these challenges economically exist. If you keep on persisting to graduate with your diploma in security management, despite the obstacles, financial challenges, time challenges, operational challenges, you still have to be persistent and continue. And then intensity is the concentration and the vigor that goes into pursuing a goal. The degree of each of these components of motivation can impact whether goals can be achieved. Strong activation, for example, means that goals are likely to be pursued. Persistence and intensity will determine ability to keep working toward that goal and how much effort is devoted to reaching it. So the degree of each of these components of motivation can impact whether goals can be achieved. You must have a strong motivation, you must have a strong activation, you must be persistent, you must maintain intensity so that you may eventually achieve your goals or your objectives. You have to keep going. There is one motivational coach called Angela Nzilani who asked me today, Wayne, what keeps you going? Because I speak to you every day and I see you are always moving. What keeps you moving? I told her, for me, it is very simple. For me, the fact that I believe that tomorrow is a better day, that is all for me. So for me, my motivation comes from the thought that tomorrow is a better day. I believe in that. I always know that tomorrow is a better day. No matter what happens today, I know that tomorrow will be a better day, and that keeps me going. I know also you have your own way to keep persistence. You have your own way to maintain intensity. There are things that you believe are working for you. You have your beliefs. Some of us believe that my God is great and everything will happen for the good. Some of us believe that tomorrow is gone and today is here. Let me focus on today and move ahead. So there are those thoughts, those ideas, those that we believe in. They are called mantras that we believe in, or mottos that we believe in, that keep us going. So for me, I believe that tomorrow is a better day. Tips for improving motivation. All people experience fluctuations in their motivation and willpower. When feeling low on motivation, you have to adjust goals to focus on things that really matter. Adjust goals to focus on things that really matter. Focusing on things that are highly important will help push through challenges more than goals based on things that are low in importance. Break it up, break break it up tasks into smaller, break big tasks into smaller, more manageable steps. Then set sights on achieving only the first step. These are just some of the ways to improve motivation. Some of the ways to improve motivation are mentioned here, including living healthy, practicing living healthy, exercising. Just walking for 25 minutes every day is a part of what will motivate you. If you just focus that every day I'll walk 30 minutes, every day I'll walk 30 minutes with the aim of maintaining a healthy lifestyle, then that will also be a motivational factor to you. Other people derive motivation from reading books. Other people derive motivations from research. Other people derive motivation from sports. And this is a way that you can improve motivation. Other people also derive motivation from listening to music or singing or even playing games. There are people who find a motivation from these activities, and those are some of the tips to improve motivation. Then you also have to improve your confidence. Research suggests that there is a correct connection between confidence and motivation. Gaining more confidence in skills can impact ability to achieve goals. Past achievements remind one about their strength. This helps keep self-doubts from limiting motivation. To avoid insecurity by working on weak areas. Avoid insecurity by working on weak areas. We always feel insecure when we are not competent in particular fields. So if you want to avoid insecurity, then you have to work on those areas and improve yourself. And then motivation is a state of mind filled with energy and enthusiasm, which drives a person to work in a certain way to achieve their desired goals. Motivation is a force that pushes people to work with a higher level of commitment and focus, even if things are going against them. Motivation translates into a certain kind of human behavior. In short, motivation is the driving force behind human actions. There are many different forces that guide and direct our motivation. There are many different forces that guide and direct our motivation. And then it is important to ensure that every team member in an organization is motivated and meets the best project management course bottom line. Various psychologists have studied human behavior and have formalized their findings in the form of various motivational theories. These motivational theories provide insights into the way people behave and what motivates them. We are shortly going to look at these theories. I just selected 5 theories. There are so many theories, but I just chose 5 theories that we are going to look at. Remember, scholars and psychologists and people who study aspects of strategic management, general management, also other subjects, are continuously doing research and they are continuously presenting their theories to the world. And some of the theories have stood the test of time, and we are just going to discuss a few of them here. Motivation theory is a way of looking at the motivation of a person and how this influences their behavior, whether for personal or professional reasons. It's important to every aspect of society, but is especially relevant to business and management. Motivation is the key to more profitable employees, as a motivated employee is more productive. Motivation is a huge field of study. Psychologists have proposed many different theories of motivation. Just as I said, psychologists have proposed many different theories of motivation. The 5 theories of motivation that we are going to look at, we are first going to look at Maslow's theory of hierarchical needs. We initially touched on this in another presentation when we were doing the introduction of this course. So some of the most famous motivational theories include the following. 1. Maslow's theory of hierarchical needs. Abraham Maslow postulated that a person will be motivated when all his needs are fulfilled. People do not work for security or money, but they work to contribute and to use their skills. That one is very important. Most people do not work for security or for money, but they work to contribute and to use their skills. He demonstrated this by creating a pyramid to show how people are motivated, and mentioned that one cannot ascend to the next level unless lower level needs are fulfilled. The lowest level needs in the pyramid are basic needs, and unless these lower level needs are satisfied, people do not look at working towards satisfying their upper level needs. Below is the hierarchy of needs. 1. Psychological needs are basic needs for survival, such as air, sleep, food, water, clothing, sex, and shelter. Sleep is very important. Air is very important. Food, definitely we cannot do without. Water, we cannot do without. Clothing, we cannot do without. Sex is a basic need, and also shelter. These are some of the psychological needs. Before you meet these needs, if these needs are not met, then you cannot arise to the other level before you are comfortable you are meeting these needs. And the next level is safety needs, protection from threats, deprivation, and other dangers, i.e., health, secure employment, and property. That is the second level. The third level is social belongingness and love needs, the need for association, affiliation, friendship, and so on. And then there is a self-esteem needs, the need for respect and recognition. And then there is self-actualization needs, the opportunity for personal development, learning, and fun, creative, challenging work. Self-actualization is the highest level need to which a human being can aspire. Self-actualization is the highest level need to which a human being can aspire. So those are, according to Abraham Maslow, a hierarchy of needs pyramid. The highest is self-actualization needs, the opportunity for personal development, learning, fun, creative, challenging work. Self-actualization is the highest level need to which a human being can aspire. And when we look at the pyramid, this is how it looks. We see that psychological needs, this is breathing, food, water, sex, sleep, and the other issues. And then we have safety, which is security, and then we have belonging, friendship, family, and also that one. And then we have esteem, self-esteem, confidence, achievement, respect of others, respect by others, and then self-actualization, which is morality, creativity, and problem solving skills, lack of prejudice, and acceptance of others, or acceptance of facts. So self-actualization, according to Abraham Maslow, is the highest in the pyramid, that you cannot achieve self-actualization before you are able to meet all the other lower level needs, and all these leads to motivation. Once you meet these needs, as the level goes up, then you become highly motivated, to achieve the best level of yourself. Therefore, in organizations, the leader will have to understand at what level the team members are currently and seek out to help them to satisfy those specific needs and accordingly work to help fulfill those needs. This will help the team members perform better and move ahead with the project. Also, as their needs get fulfilled, the team members will start performing until the time they start thinking of fulfilling the next upper level of needs as mentioned in the pyramid. So in organization, you are a supervisor, you are a manager, you have to find ways to understand your people and to find ways to motivate them. What motivates this person and what motivates this person, and what can I maintain this motivation as a manager to help this person perform to the best of their ability. Number two, there is a Herzberg's two-factor theory. Herzberg classified the needs into two broad categories, namely hygiene factors and motivating factors. Poor hygiene factors may destroy motivation, but improving them under most circumstances will not improve team motivation. Hygiene factors only are not sufficient to motivate people, but motivator factors are also required. Other motivator factors are also required. Poor hygiene factors may destroy motivation. Poor hygiene factors may destroy motivation. So this is according to Herzberg, one of the guys who study motivation. They say the two-factor theory, also known as Herzberg's motivation hygiene theory, argues that job satisfaction and dissatisfaction exist on two different continua, each with its own set of factors. This runs contrary to the traditional view of job satisfaction, which posits that job satisfaction and dissatisfaction are interdependent. Herzberg and his collaborators investigated 14 factors relating to job satisfaction in their original study, classifying them as either hygienic or motivational factors. Motivation factors increase job satisfaction, while the presence of hygiene factors prevent job dissatisfaction. And you can see from the figure above, we have strength of motivating factors, and then we have strength of hygiene factors. We have weak hygiene and strong motivating factors. We have strong hygiene and strong motivating factors. So this guy Herzberg postulated that he came up with the conclusions that hygiene plays some role in motivating people at the workplace or even in their personal life. Strong hygiene but weak motivating factors, employees are neutrally satisfied, and this neutrality produces is productive. You can read more on this theory and try to understand how it is in which context is discussed. Then we have Mackland's theory of needs. Number 3, Mackland affirms that we all have 3 motivating drives, which do not depend on our gender or age. One of these drives will be dominant in our behavior. The dominant drives depends on our experiences. The 3 motivators are achievement, a need to accomplish and demonstrate own competency. People with a high need for achievement prefer tasks that provide for personal responsibility and results based on their own efforts. They also prefer quick acknowledgement of their progress. So according to Mackland, the 3 motivator factors are 1, achievement, and then 2, affiliation, a need for love, belonging, and social acceptance. People with a high need for affiliation are motivated by being liked and accepted by others. They tend to participate in social gatherings and may be uncomfortable with others. You have seen on Facebook, most people of either gender, some people, when they are facing low motivation, they will try to cover it up by saying, I am an independent person. I don't need other people to survive. I can survive alone. But you cannot survive alone in this world. We need other people. We need to create networks. We need to create friendships. We need family to be motivated. If you hear a person saying, I am independent, I can survive without anybody, that person is a lie. And then there is also, according to Macklin, power, a need for controlling own work or work of others. People with a high need for power desire situations in which they exercise power and influence over others. They aspire for positions with status and authority and tend to be more concerned about their level of influence than about effective work performance. They tend to be more concerned about their level of influence. We all like to be in charge. We all like to be in control. That is why we are even developing our careers, because we want to be supervisors one day so we can control others, so that we can lead others, so that we can be in charge of others. We all want to be managers. We all want to be directors, so we can be influential positions and have status and authority. So this is what we call power, and it is also a motivating factor. It is a motivating factor. And then there is a 4, who is a Vroom's theory of expectancy. Vroom's expectancy theory of motivation says that an individual's motivation is affected by their expectations about the future. In this view, an individual's motivation is affected by 1, expectancy. Here, the belief is that increased effort will lead to increased performance. If I work harder, then it will be better. This is affected by things such as having the appropriate resources available, e.g. raw materials and time, having the appropriate management skills to do the job, having the required support to get the job done, supervisor support, or correct information on the job. So according to Vroom's theory, the motivation is affected by factors, and one of the factors is expectancy. You expect to perform highly, to do a very good job based on the availability of resources, availability of the skills, availability of the required support, and also the required correct information. Then we also said instrumentality. Here, the belief is that if you perform well, then the outcome will be a valuable one for me, i.e., if I do a good job, there is something in it for me. This is affected by such things as a clear understanding of the relationship between performance and outcomes, e.g., the rules of the reward game, and then trust in the people who will take the decisions on who gets what outcome, and then transparency in the process decides who gets what outcome. And as supervisors and as managers, we have to consider this one and ensure that our people clearly understand the relationship between performance and outcomes. Our people can have trust in the decisions that are being made, and then there is transparency. This will motivate people. Where staff see that what is happening is not transparent, or where staff lose trust in their own management, then definitely they will be demotivated. It will affect motivation. And then there's also another area which is called valence, is how much importance the individual places upon the expected outcome. For example, if someone is motivated by money, he or she might not value offers of additional time off. The valence model attempts to capture the perceived attractiveness or valence of an outcome by aggregating the attractiveness of all associated resultant outcomes. The force model of expectancy theory attempts to capture motivational force to act by associating the expectancy of resultant outcomes and their individual valences. So valence is also one of the category of discussion under the theory that we have just mentioned. And then also we have another theory, which is McGregor's theory, X and Y theory. Theory X and theory Y were first explained by McGregor in his book, The Human Side of Enterprise. And they refer to two styles of management, authoritarian theory X and participative theory Y. Theory X. Managers who accept this theory believe that if you feel that your team members dislike their work, have little motivation, need to be watched every minute, and are incapable of being accountable for their work, avoid responsibility, and avoid work whatever possible, then you are likely to use an authoritarian style of management. If you feel that um, the people are not responsible or cannot take responsibility on their own, then you have to use authoritarian style of management, where you categorically directly manage them. According to McGregor, this approach is very hands-on and usually involves micromanaging people's work to ensure that it gets done properly. This theory is very hands-on and usually involves micromanaging people's work to ensure that work is done properly. In this age, we should be able to avoid micromanagement. However, since people perform at different levels, people have different factors that motivate them. We still have to, one way or the other, micromanage work, micromanage people so that they can achieve performance. But if you have a highly effective team, a team that is performing, then you do not need to go into an authoritarian style of management. You don't need to micromanage people, where people are highly effective and they are working on their own to achieve desired results. Theory Y. Managers who accept this theory believe that if people are willing to work without supervision, take pride in their work, see it as a challenge, and want to achieve more, they can direct their own efforts, take ownership of their work, and do it effectively by themselves. These managers use a decentralized, participative management style. These managers use a decentralized, participative management style. There is also another theorist who is called Aldous ERG theory. C.P. Alder, an American psychologist, developed Maslow's hierarchy of needs into a theory of his own. He develops Maslow's hierarchy of needs into a theory of his own. So his theory suggests that there are three groups of core needs: existence, relatedness, and growth. ERG. These groups are aligned with Maslow's level of psychological needs, social needs, and self-actualization needs, respectively. Existence needs concern our basic material requirements for living, which include what Maslow categorized as psychological needs, such as air, sleep, food, water, clothing, sex, and shelter, and safety-related needs, such as health, secure employment, and property. You see, in Kenya, let me just take an example of Kenya. Existence needs. The government is soon coming up with a bill. I think it was coming into Parliament for discussion today, which is called Finance Bill 2023, which is proposing a certain kind of levy or tax for housing. And the people are really against this, because they believe that what they need first is sleep, food, water, clothing. They need first to meet these basic existence needs before even we can think of housing. Even though housing is under shelter, but now the way that the government wants to tax people to build houses for them, that it will take a very long time before even they can sleep in the same houses, and they need food now. The level of existence, the level of the basic needs is very high. You can see the contest that is happening in Kenya. I think you can think beyond that. For people to be motivated to go to that level of contributing towards a house that will come in 30 years, people first need to feel their needs, their basic needs are met before they can go to that level. I think you can expound that on your own. I don't want to go much into that because I'm not a politician. Then there is relatedness needs, have to do with the importance of maintaining interpersonal relationships. These needs are based on social interactions with others and are aligned with Maslow's levels of love, belonging. Related needs such as friendship, family, and sexual intimacy and self self-esteem related needs such as gaining the respect of others. And then there is growth, describe our intrinsic desire for personal development. These needs are aligned with the other part of Maslow's esteem-related needs such as self-esteem, self-confidence, and achievement, and self-actualization needs such as morality, creativity, problem-solving, and discovery. So what this guy called Alder, who is an American psychologist, did, he came up with his own theory, but his theory is actually based again on what Abraham Maslow had already put on the table. His theory is based on aspects or on ideas that already had been proposed by Maslow. The idea of existence, the idea of relatedness, and the idea of growth needs. So this is another theory another theorist who actually conduct study in the aspect of motivation. And then we say Aldafa is of the opinion that when a certain category of needs is not being met, people will redouble their efforts to fulfill needs in a lower category. Maslow's theory is very rigid, and it assumes that the needs follow a specific and orderly hierarchy, and unless a lower level need is satisfied, an individual cannot proceed to the higher level need, i.e., an individual remains at a particular level until that need is satisfied. Whereas, according to Aldafa's theory, if a higher level need is aggravated, an individual may revert to increasing the satisfaction of a lower level need. This is called the frustration regression aspect of ERG theory. ERG theory is very flexible, as Aldafa perceived the needs as a range/variety instead of perceiving them as a hierarchy, i.e., an individual can work on growth needs even if his existence or relatedness needs remain unsatisfied. Think about that line of thinking, that an individual can still work on a growth needs even if his existence or relatedness needs remain unsatisfied. Even if you don't have the basic needs, even if you don't have food, even if you don't have proper shelter, even if you don't have proper growthing, Aldafa suggests that you can still work on your career, that you can still work on your improvement as you struggle to meet these other needs. Also, for an example, when growth needs aggravate, then an individual might be motivated to accomplish the relatedness need. And if there are issues in accomplishing related needs, then he might be motivated by the existence needs. Hence, in this manner, frustration or aggravation can result in regression to a lower level need. Another example could be if someone's self-esteem is suffering, he or she will invest more effort in the relatedness category of needs. That if your self-esteem is in a problem, you lack self-esteem, then you may invest more in the effort to bring people closer to you, to bring family closer to you, so that you may start to achieve your self-esteem need. Implication of the ERG theory: all managers must understand that an employee has various needs that must be satisfied at the same time. Remember, every person is different. I told you earlier, I worked for an organization where I had 47 security team members under my command, and I can tell you it was very challenging because every person has got their own needs different. According to ERG theory, if the manager focuses only on one need at a time, then this will not effectively motivate the employee. The frustration regression aspect of ERG theory has an added effect on workplace motivation. For example, if an employee is not provided with growth and advancement opportunities in an organization, then he or she might revert to related needs such as socializing needs. To meet those socializing needs, if the environment or circumstances will not permit it, he might revert to the need for money to fulfill those socializing needs. By the time the manager realizes and discovers this, they will take more immediate steps to fulfill those needs, which are frustrated until such time that the employee can again pursue growth. Conclusion: motivation is therefore the state of mind which pushes all human beings to perform to their highest potential with good spirits and a positive attitude. The various motivation theories outlined above help us to understand what are the factors that drive motivation. It is a leader's job to ensure that every individual in the team and the organization is motivated and inspired to perform better than their best. This is neither quick nor easy, but in the long term, the gains that are derived from happy employees far outweigh the time and effort spent in motivating them. This is neither quick nor easy, but in the long term, the gains that are derived from happy employees far outweigh the time and effort spent in motivating them. I decided for us to discuss something a little bit about motivation, because motivation is related to management. Motivation is related to strategic planning. Motivation is related to strategic management. And I am very sure that most of us are developing our careers with the interest that in the future we may play a very important role in this sector, in our careers, and we may be able to influence others, we may be able to lead others, and we may be able to take charge by being the best we can. So motivation is very important to you as an individual. You have to watch all sectors of your life. You have to identify what demotivates you, and you have to know what really motivates you to achieve the best. And with this focus, then we will be able to play a very integral role in our career in the future, either as supervisors or as managers or as leaders or as directors, or in whatever sector you'll be, you will be able to achieve your abilities to the highest standard if you are motivated. And we have seen motivation revolves around, when we talk about Maslow's theory, it revolves around meeting certain lower level needs as you progress up the pyramid to self-actualization. With those few remarks, I say thank you. This coming weekend, I believe we shall be doing the cut. This is according to our chief principal. And once we finish the cut, then we will start to focus on part 2 of our strategic management training and our overall course. I want to say thank you again for taking your time to learn with us, and we are going to continue to try our level best to ensure that we guide you to the right direction. Thank you very much, and see you next time. Bye bye.